Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and welcome to episode 5 of season 2 of Earning My Spurs. Today we take a look at 8 matches from the Premier League and from the Champions League as it gets squeaky bum time in the Champions League to see if we'll qualify for the knockout stages. Don't forget, if you enjoy this content, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, leave me a comment if you've got anything to say. Don't forget, also, I'm a member of the FM creators community and the Passion for FM team. The link to the Discord server is in the description. Also, don't forget, we now have FMZ gaming t-shirts. If you would like to get your hands on one, please let me know and I'll see if I can sort you one out. Okay, let's get to the results. Now, after the draw with Celtic in the last episode, the link is in the description. We got back to Premier League action and a win over Brighton. Let's take a look at this one. All done and dusted in the first half. Harry Kane with the opening goal with a header at the far post for number 1. Same thing again, Rodriguez with the free kick. This time it was a goal from Brozovic for number 2. And Harry Kane wrapped up the win inside 35 minutes. Jarrod Bowen with a run down the right-hand side. There is Harry Kane in the middle of the penalty area as he eventually taps in for about 3 or 4 yards. We followed that up with a topsy-turvy game at Vicarage Road against Watford as we won by 3-2. Let's take a look at the goals from this one. Dele Alli with the opening goal, his first of the Premier League season. Nelson Semedo with the ball into the box. Brozovic picks it up, finds Dele Alli who puts it into the corner for 1-0. Watford equalised just after half-time. A bit of a calamity down in the corner. I thought they were going to kick it out for an injury because you can see they had a player down, but Takore heads it in for 1-1. But we retook the lead on the hour. Nelson Semedo with the ball down the right, running beyond Takore, sending it into the middle where Harry Kane profited from a bit of poor defending. Dele Alli then made it 3-1 on 72 minutes. Here he is playing the ball to Danny Rose. He will eventually give it back to him before Dele Alli finishes nicely into the far corner. But Watford did pull one back in the 89th minute to make it an interesting last couple of minutes. Takore with the header, Wolf with a touchback, cleverly with the shot beyond Oblak. But Watford could not find a third goal as we won at Vicarage Road. Then we had a bit of a nightmare in the Champions League, to be brutally honest with you. Barcelona 4, Tottenham 0. Let's take a look at this one. Busquets with the opening goal, Messi with the corner. There is Busquets sliding in at the far post for 1-0. Barcelona doubled their lead on 18 minutes through Anton Griezmann. Roberto with the throw, Suarez with the touchback, and there is Griezmann in the middle for 2. They made it 3 on 68. Rakitic with the corner, Suarez with the header down. Fisker with the third goal. Then our evening was complete with Barcelona's 4th goal. A breakaway, Rakitic with the ball. There is Luis Suarez down the middle of the field. Gets beyond Fraro, plays it into Vidal as Barcelona won by 4-0. Thankfully, there was respite in the Premier League as we beat Cardiff by 3-0. Let's take a look at this one. It was a difficult one against Cardiff City, no word of a lie, they defended really well, but we eventually found the way through on 21 minutes. Dele Alli with the opening goal, good run into the centre of the box before firing into the corner. We made it 2-0 just after half-time. Harry Kane missing his penalty, or Smithy saving it, but he does tap in the rebound for 2-0. Jarrod Bowen wrapped up the win in the 62nd minute. Brozovic with the ball towards Kyle Walker, plays it back to Bowen, sends it off the post, collects the rebound, taps it into the net. It should have probably been more against Cardiff, but we'll take 3 as we won by 3-0. And Joe Bennett, incidentally, was sent off for Cardiff with about 10 minutes to play. Then we move on to the match against Liverpool as we beat them by 2-0. Very much against the run of play, but we did play on the counter-attack on this one. Let's take a look at the goals from it. Tanguy Ndombele with the opening goal with a header into the corner for 1-0. And we wrapped it up on 65 minutes. Jarrod Bowen with a good run down the right-hand side, beating Andy Robertson, playing it towards the middle of the pitch. No one attacks it at all. Son profits at the far post as we beat Liverpool by 2-0. We then followed that up with a very good away win at Crystal Palace. Let's take a look at the goals from this one. Started well from Brozovic on the 20th minute as he eventually gets the ball into the net for 1-0. We made it 2 on 47. Kyle Walker with the ball on the right-hand side, playing it back towards Harry Wilson, who played it back towards Brozovic before he fired it into the net for 2-0. And we wrapped it up nicely in the 67th minute. Sacco with a bit of dilly-dallying. Belotti gets on the keeper's case and eventually just tackles him and rolls it into the net for 3 priceless points against Crystal Palace. Good news on the Champions League front. We are through to the knockout stages of the Champions League thanks to a draw with Milan. Celtic and Barcelona ended 0-0 on the same match day. So we've kind of fallen over the line, but we're there. Let's take a look at this one. Harry Kane with the goal on the hour. Good play down the right. Markaday in for his first start. One of our youth team players, Harry Kane, firing into the net for 1-0. But Milan equalised on 72 minutes. Rebic with the goal. Throw down the right. Now, there is no danger coming here. Walker tackles him. Brilliant. Just rolls it very short back to the goalkeeper. Hospital ball, as we call it. But it didn't matter. Milan didn't find another goal. Celtic didn't find a goal either, as we qualified for the knockout stages. And last time out, we celebrated our Champions League qualification by thumping West Ham by 4-0. Andrea Belotti with a hat-trick. Let's take a look at his hat-trick. Now, I said I was going to use him more. Harry Kane was rested for this one. Jaded was the verdict from the physio, but Belotti pounced for 1-0. We had to wait a long time for our second goal, but Dele Alli supplied it. Winks with the ball into the box, headed down by the defender. Ali takes a touch and then fires it beyond the goalkeeper for 2-0. And then Belotti took over in the last couple of minutes. Eric Dyer with a long ball forward. Belotti on the shoulder of the last defender. Into the box and slotting it into the bottom corner for his second goal. And he delightfully completed his hat-trick in the 89th minute. Asensio with the ball to Dele Alli. Good run down the right from Semedo. There is Belotti, who fired it beyond the goalkeeper for Tottenham 4, West Ham 0. Before we get to the competition screen, here is the draw for the Champions League. We have been drawn to play AS Monaco, which out of the teams that we could have played, and there were 4 of them altogether, we'll have a look at the draw in its entirety in a second. That is probably the best one we could have had. I am delighted with that, although when we played them in the group stages a few years ago, we did finish 3rd to Monaco, but they did beat Chelsea and Atletico Madrid to top spot in their group, so there will be no mugs in the last 16. So here is the rest of the Champions League draw. So we could have played Ajax, but they will play Chelsea. We could have played Leipzig, but they will play Juventus. We could have played Real Madrid, but they will play Bayern Munich. Those are the other 3 options we had at our disposal. In the other ties, Paris Saint-Germain will play Liverpool. There's us against Monaco. Inter will play Arsenal. Borussia Dortmund will play Barcelona. Roma will play Manchester United. So, to the competition screen we go. We start with the FA Cup because that has been drawn as well. We are at home to Burnley in round 3 as we try to retain the FA Cup. That would be an easy start. We've already mentioned the Champions League, so we park that until February now, but Monaco await us there. In the Premier League, it's been a good roundup. We are unbeaten in the Premier League for this episode. So we have moved up to 2nd. 3 points behind Arsenal, but we do have a better goal difference than they do. Manchester United are a further point back on 39. Liverpool are on 34. West Ham are up in 5th on 31. So the drubbing that we gave them was a blip for their perspective. Chelsea on 30, Leicester on 28, Manchester City on 26. They're 4 points outside of the European places down at the bottom because there has been a bit of movement down at the bottom. Not in the bottom 3 though. Newcastle bottom on 6. Cardiff second bottom on 7. Crystal Palace third bottom on 10th. Fulham, they're up to 14th with 20 points. They are miles away from the bottom 3 as it stands. Burnley just outside on 12. West Brom going well as well on 17. But Fulham, definitely the best of the promoted sides that have come up from the Championship. So a good roundup for us there. Good results in the Premier League, particularly over Liverpool, particularly over West Ham. Good game with Watford as well. That was a bit of a topsy-turvy one. The Champions League, I was expecting to qualify. I wasn't expecting to just fall over the line like that. The defeat at Barcelona was expected. The draw with Milan wasn't, so it was a bit of a squeaky bum finish to that. But we did qualify for the knockout stages, and as I've mentioned, it's Monaco next for us. So we'll take another roundup. We'll come back probably towards the end of the January transfer window. We do have one new signing and one departure already lined up, but I didn't want to reveal it until we got to the January window, so we'll take a look at that next time around. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to do so, please hit the subscribe button down in the corner. Don't forget, if you've got anything to say on any of the videos that go onto the channel, please leave me a comment. Also, don't forget, I am a member of the FM creators community and the Passion for FM team. The link to the Discord server is in the description. That was episode 5 of season 2 of Earning My Spurs. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.